Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. To kick off the 2025 school year, Archewell teamed up with The Big Sunday. The Big Sunday is a LA-based nonprofit that believes that everyone has something to give. In celebration of the Big Sunday's 16th annual Back to School Week, Archewell joined hundreds of volunteers to help level the playing field for under-resourced students and schools. Together, they packed backpacks full of essential school supplies and heartfelt notes filled with encouragement, hope, and joy. These backpacks will find their way in the hands of children and classrooms across Los Angeles, giving these students not just the tools they need for the year ahead, but tangible reminders that their community is behind them every step of the way. How wonderful. Sort of reminds me of the initiative that the Archewell Foundation did for the schoolgirls in Nigeria. Was it 2 years back? Well done. It's that time again. The Invictus Foundation is deciding on which city will be holding the 2029 Invictus Games. The choices are Denmark, Ukraine, Nigeria, USA, specifically San Diego, the Republic of Korea, and Italy. So let me know. Do you have any favorites? Which location would be your pick for the 2029 Games? Of course, we know the upcoming games will be in the UK. Now this week, there's so much to talk about when it comes to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, but one of the topics that got lost in the sauce was the fact that both Kris Jenner and Khloe Kardashian shared their as-ever packages with the wine and different products and some fresh produce. The Jenner Kardashians has a massive social media following of hundreds of millions collectively. Now this week, we of course got information about the renewal of the Sussexes contract with Netflix, much to the chagrin of their detractors. Seeing some of the meltdown on social media has been quite entertaining for me. I will admit that there was a certain point following coverage and conversations about Harry and Meghan would feel very heavy for me, to the point where I'd be like, okay, I need a break. I need to not watch any videos on social media when it comes to Harry and Meghan, because these people are getting on my last nerves. Sometimes it would be frustration. Sometimes I would just be so disheartened. Now, it doesn't bother me in the same way. Sort of makes me chuckle. Sip my tea and watch the insanity take place.
Hey, family meeting, real quick. I'm convinced that these two are trolling the hell out of the British media and the American media too. How do you ask? Remember, not too long ago, the news that their Netflix deal was over, and what did you see on just about every page from the British media and everything? Their deal is over, Netflix has no use for them, blah, 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 blah. Only for a few days later, this headline comes out that their deal was actually extended. I'm convinced they sit back like, okay, drop that. Let it breathe for a second. Only to follow up with this after all of the think pieces and all the commentaries have been made just to make those people a fool. So why not feed them? Then let them choke on their own words. It's just me. I just think it's a plot line. And they get a kick and giggle out of it because I know I do. Imagine, people are preying on your downfall and you can play them like Fiddler on the Roof. The power, the petty, and the prince and princess. I love it. So while this dropped, what was it, a few days ago? How it's a humiliating deal and you're trying to find something. Because remember, you still haven't choked back that you said there wasn't going to be a deal at all. I'm just waiting to see. They always have something up their sleeve. What do y'all think?
The people I feel most sorry about are the trolls who their hopes are just built and built and built. And it's like, yes, 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 yes. And then it doesn't happen. So I feel sorry for them.
Unfortunately, in the landscape that we live in, media sources are focused on engagement, right? Print is dying, newspapers is dying. So a lot of these media sources rely on clickbait heavy articles, right? So scandal, negativity, it gets the people going, it gets the clicks, especially when it comes to Harry and Meghan. So that is what we saw play out. And none of the people involved who actually knew what was happening corrected those lies. They just let them do it until they announced the new deal.
So, how is it going for you haters of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry? Like, how is it going for you now that all your wishes on them that Netflix contract will not be renewed, they will not be back with as ever Meghan, that they're not going to have all of the amazing shows that they're going to be showing us on Netflix, we're not cancelled. Because that's all you guys talk about. Netflix, they're done with Harry. They're done with Meghan. That's what the British media has been feeding your bitter hearts with. Haters of Meghan. So how are you now doing? We all need to check on you guys and be sure that you're sane in your minds and not losing it. Because seriously, if I wish evil on someone and then God turns around and blesses them exceedingly abundantly above all they can ever ask or think, that hater should be losing their minds right now. I see you guys on all the various social media handles just hating. And I'm like, how do these people sleep? Like, really? How do they breathe and stay healthy? Because hate is the easiest way to have a terminal illness visit you, because that's a portal that you've opened in your life. And for what reason? For human beings who don't even know of your existence, just because you chose to believe the lies that you're being fed. Like, seriously, how does anyone survive their lives hating? It's a major task to hate. Whether the British people like it or not, Harry has been destined for greatness. He's more of an ambassador to the British royal family than the ones who are there, because that's the one that everyone is gravitating towards, and that pisses all of you off. So for the haters, I think the more you hate, the more they are blessed.
So some of the projects from the Sussexes and Netflix to look forward to, of course, is the season 2 of With Love Meghan, which will be premiering on the 26th. A holiday special entitled With Love Meghan Holiday Celebration that'll be out in December. And I'm so happy to see this. I feel like after the premiere of season 1, a lot of us were online speculating and hoping for a holiday special, and that's what we're gonna get. And I'm so excited for that. Also, there's gonna be a documentary, The Masaka Kids, A Rhythm Within, and the film adaptation of Meet Me at the Lake. Remember, we talked about that one before. So I'm excited to see all of these different projects. And the great thing about this new contract that the Sussexes has with Netflix is that any projects that Netflix doesn't feel like is a good fit for them, they are able to shop it around to different streaming services, and I'm so happy about that.
If you guys have been following me for a while, you would have known that I made a video a few months ago saying that wouldn't it be great if Netflix had With Love Meghan holiday edition, like a Christmas edition. That we are all in agreement that Meghan Sussex, formerly known as Meghan Markle, needs to have a Christmas special. Netflix, if you somehow find this video, if you somehow stumble upon this, give us With Love Meghan Christmas edition. We would eat that up, right? And there's going to be one. There's going to be a With Love Meghan holiday celebration. And for those of you who need proof, this is straight from Netflix's website. With Love Meghan holiday celebration, a new special holiday episode of With Love Meghan on Netflix this December.
Can't wait. Now, some of the guests include, of course, Chef Jose, and I know I'm not the only one who remembered that asinine article from the British press talking about William poaching Chef Jose away from Harry and Meghan. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the people who write these stories sound like high schoolers, because the pettiness is so juvenile that sometimes you simply can't take them seriously. But anyway, so Chef Jose is going to be there, Chrissy Teigen, David Chang, Samin Nosrat, I hope I pronounced that properly, Jay Shetty. Of course, we're going to see more of Daniel. And I love to see Daniel because he's such a breath of fresh air. Some of his clapbacks to certain people on Twitter makes me laugh. Also, Heather is going to be featured this season as well.
As somebody who consumes a lot of romance books, there is something so compelling about Meghan and Harry's story. I absolutely love their love. And I can't say that I felt like that about any other royal couple, like literally ever, I don't think. There is something about their interaction that always feels organic and real and loving. And I always feel that whenever I see them together, you can literally feel the chemistry coming off them. I love how they look after each other. And we all know they've literally been through the wars in the last sort of 5 years. And, and people keep criticizing them for no good reason, as far as I'm concerned, other than jealousy. It has to be jealousy because Meghan, I just think I've been watching her since Suits, and I saw her interviews before she got involved in the royal family. And she just was always such a down to earth, just loving person. And what's always interesting is that the people who actually know her, none of them have got anything bad to say about her. Her family don't count, or her so-called family, or certainly the lighter side of the family. Because looking at that family, I'm so glad Meghan's got her mum. Because nope. Their story is one that if it was adapted into romance book form, I would read. I'd read that all day long and go back for seconds.
Same. It is disheartening to see the way that Meghan and Harry have been treated. But the good thing is, the pendulum always swings the other way, right? I think of every public figure who has been vilified in the press. And of course, it trickles down to the masses because people are influenced by the things that they consume on a daily basis. But the pendulum always swings the other way. Every celebrity that I have seen that is clear that they've been unjustly vilified, eventually things even out in the end. And I can't wait for that moment for Meghan.
Here's one thing that I know. You don't try to destroy people with no influence. You don't obsess over people who have no power. If they're coming for you, it's because they've already seen your light, and they felt your presence, and they've also tasted your influence. It's not about what you've done wrong, it's about what you are doing right. Your confidence intimidates them, your vision makes them insecure, and your resilience makes them furious. And here's the thing, their entire mission is to make you doubt yourself, because if you ever believed in yourself as much as they secretly know you deserve to, it's game over for them. The best clapback is not anger, it's not proving yourself to them, it's not even responding. Your best revenge is thriving so loudly that your success drowns out their noise. So Meghan, keep building, keep shining, keep winning, and that is power.
I know why the royal family is reluctant to make peace with Meghan Sussex, and it's because she's too smart for them to try any of their Darvo tactics with her or Harry if she's around. They'll say that it's because she runs her mouth and gives up all the family secrets. But she's not the one who wrote a memoir. That was Harry. Harry is the one who exposed his family members one by one in a book. Meghan gave an interview to Oprah, and Harry was there too. He also said things in that interview. It was not just her. Meghan and Harry show on Netflix, Harry was also there. It was not just her saying anything. They were both saying things about the royal family. Since then, she has done her With Love Meghan, and she never mentioned them, ever. There was nothing that she ever said that was untoward in that series. So the person who is actually exposing all the secrets is mostly Harry, and yet they're okay with him coming back, just not her. Do you think that's the racism, or...
Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on the reaction from the British press too much, but that one video from Jenny Bond saying that, Meghan won and we lost, it made me chuckle, but also, she's not in competition with anyone. She came, she did a great job, it didn't work out, she's left, spoken her truth, and she's moved on. She's focusing on loving her family and building her empire. she's not thinking about the British press. It's insane. This one-sided beef is so bizarre.
But the fact of the matter is, they have won. Meghan has won, and we have to eat humble pie.
It's actually quite impressive the way the media breaks its back to try and take anything Harry and Meghan related and make it sound like it's worse than it actually is. We're supposed to believe that them continuing their partnership with Netflix is a bad idea. But when the Obamas signed a first look deal with Netflix, they were expanding their partnership. Because when the news originally came out, no one was saying this isn't as good. They were calling it like it was. This is a good thing for them. I don't know if you guys remember, but Netflix canceled a project that Meghan was doing back in 2022, 2023. Now, with a first look agreement, if they had canceled it, she can be like, okay, let me shop this around. So to me, like, if I'm reading this correctly, it sounds like a better deal. And from my remembering and my understanding, creative freedom is a huge reason why the Spotify partnership just did not work for them. A first look deal seems to make sense for them and where they want to be. And honest to God, I don't know a ton about this, but I don't understand why anybody would want to be locked in to a contract with one company when we live in this world of streaming wars. It feels like you're kneecapping your ability, especially going back to that Pearl animation that Meghan had been working on, and they just canceled it, and you have to sit on your hands and do nothing with it.
And she's right, this contract allows the Sussexes, or more specifically the Archewell productions, to have a lot more flexibility and freedom. And earlier we talked about it being the standard for people or production companies who have deals with Netflix, such as Tyler Perry, such as the Obamas, but this is the industry standard. And it's interesting that this user BuyTwit on X had these screenshots from the Hollywood Reporter. I feel like, I don't know what's going on with the Hollywood Reporter, but there's someone in there, I don't know if it's sanctioned hit pieces or that person is just a hater. I feel like there are some very pointed and very clearly biased reporting from the Hollywood Reporter when it comes to Harry and Meghan. I don't know, somebody in there has a problem with them. But it's just nice to see so many people are able to call out the hypocrisy about it. As you're seeing here in the screenshots, the Hollywood Reporter sees the first look deals for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his production company. It's a good thing, right? For Margot Robbie, it's a good thing. But for Harry and Meghan, it's a downgrade. Inconsistency. No wonder so many people just do not trust the media in general, because a lot of these places that like to present themselves as unbiased truth tellers, well, they prove that they're not.
So I just saw that season 2 of With Love Meghan is out, and I'm so geeked. I saw season 1 and I genuinely feel like it regulated my nervous system. I watched it over the course of 2 days, and by day 2 I was literally Googling the closest Williams and Sonoma, looking for a Le Creuset pot because I felt like it would improve my quality of life. Obviously I didn't get the pot because I realized I don't actually cook like that, but man, what a life she lives. Inspirational and aspirational. And I know that she's not everyone's cup of tea, but she's my kettle. I really enjoy her content, and I feel like people who criticize her, any negative thing you can say about Meghan, you could literally double it and pass it to Kate. Looking at the trailer for season 2, it looks like it's gonna be such good vibes, and I'm really looking forward to it, to seeing her cool recipes, her decorations, her party planning skills. Everything about the show is a vibe, and regardless of how people feel about her, I can't imagine that if you watch that show and you take out how you feel about her from your viewing experience, that you won't leave that show feeling good. So it's coming out on the 26th of August, and I literally am so excited.
Well. Would you look at that? Listen, I know I usually come on here and I give fact-based analysis, I give y'all proof. This specific video is simply to laugh. A few weeks ago, all of these anti-Sussex online bullying trolls were popping champagne and screaming from the rooftops that Meghan, Sussex, and Prince Harry were no longer going to have a deal with Netflix. They were irrelevant. Their sales were low. Their viewership low, even though it literally broke records. Low, low, low. As per multiple reports from multiple news sources that lean both left and right, it has been announced that Netflix is proud to extend their partnership with the Sussexes in a new deal. That's right, in a new deal. The same deal that a lot of y'all were up my behind, all up and down these internet streets saying would never happen because of their relevance. I hate this for you. And as I sit here right now, I just came from Twitter where they are spinning this. And when I say they, I mean the trolls are spinning this saying, this is not the same type of deal. They've been downgraded. This is actually a loss for them. It is beautiful. It is brilliant, actually. After you watch this, go to Twitter. It is a time right there. But one of my favorite spins I've seen so far is people saying that it's a downgrade, that they're not getting the same deal because they suck. Unfortunately for them, this downgrade is simply just a change of how Netflix does business. This downgrade is not specific to the Sussexes. In fact, other individuals like the Obamas who had a similar deal are also being, I guess, downgraded. The cope in this is crazy. But this just further proves my long-held belief that time is the best way to deal with these trolls. These Sussex-hating, Meghan-hating individuals online grasp onto the first little bit of negative news and run with it. Instead of fighting them online all the time, trying to prove them wrong, just chill, just vibe. Because quite literally, weeks, months, years, days, it will come out that they are wrong. Just let them go, let them have their moment, let them get their clicks, get their views on the cute little YouTube channels, because inevitably, the truth always comes out.
The reason why Meghan Markle is scrutinized is because a lot of people don't feel that a black woman is deserving of the status that Meghan Markle has. It makes them uncomfortable that this woman is a royal duchess and she's living a luxurious lifestyle and selling expensive jams. I, quite frankly, am happy for her. I am here for the soft woman era that she has. She's beautiful, she's brilliant, she was successful even prior to her marriage to Prince Harry. These women are delusional. They thought Prince Harry would marry them. The hate train that goes on and on and on about Meghan Markle, let it go.
I love this comment and thank you for this comment. So I really want to start talking about this because we see that the name Meghan Sussex is used all the time. All the time, whether it's in the smear campaign, whether it's in light-hearted pieces or little rivalries, they can't stop using her name. And I find this very fascinating because this is why I called it that Meghan Sussex is the most powerful woman in the world. And it's plain and simple that if she wasn't this powerful, or like I said, the most powerful woman in the world, we would never hear anything about her. We would never hear a dicky bird, as we say, where I come from. You can argue with yourself about that one, but you can't tell me otherwise. Because let me tell you something. If someone is irrelevant, if someone is unpopular, if all the opinion polls say this, all the stuff they tell us, yet every day, as soon as you open your eyes, every magazine, every newspaper, every TV show, morning show, she is the topic of conversation every day, without stop. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Nobody gets the same amount of attention. And that's why I like this comment that says, it's almost like without Meghan, they don't exist. Well, you said it. They really don't. Because why else would they talk about it? They wouldn't talk about it. If she's so bad, if she's done everything, I mean, all the stuff, right, that they tell us. They just would not give her the time of day. The only reason they give her the time of day is because her name is so powerful. It sells. It sells everything. It sells. And that's why they use her name. And this comment is in reference to the piece that I did a couple of days ago where W&K discovered a rosé wine, which they love. And the article was littered with Meghan Sussex's name, her wine brand, all sorts of comparisons, Montecito this, Montecito that. They didn't need to put anything about Meghan Sussex in that article. All they should have done, if they were powerful enough, was to say, W&K love this local British rosé they discovered. And that should have caused that brand and that wine to sell out. I don't think it's sold out. And like I said, it's a local brand to me. And I haven't even made the effort to go look for this brand. And I'm a wine person. But they needed to put my girl's name in it to bring the star quality, the luster, the intrigue. Because without her name, the ting dem don't sell. Facts. Use your own names. Your own names should have enough clout to sell out products. We'll wait and see. But leave my girl's name out of it. Thank you so much for this comment.
And with that, we've come to the conclusion of today's video. Wherever you guys are, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.